What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and we typically feature a beer of the week. We have a great episode for you today as we are going to recap season 9 of Supernatural. More like Lauren's going to carry me through this because it's been a while since I've seen this. I am on season 12 now. Don't mean to brag, but I'm slowly making my way through, and Lauren's the Supernatural expert. So as always, though, please like, subscribe, share, follow the podcast. That's how it can grow. Patreon.com/HopsGeekNews is how you can help us support the show for as low as $1 a month. It makes me feel like Sarah McLachlan every time I say it. And normally we have a beer of the week. Then we go into news and what we've been reading or watching in our main topic. However, we are just focusing on Supernatural today as a bonus episode. And with that said, I have a beer from Big Ugly Brewing called Witching Sour. It's in Virginia. It's got a collaboration with Thriller Street Tattoo, actually. It's out of Chesapeake, Virginia. I will have to visit this brewery, I think, because it's a cool can. Got some like really stellar artwork, probably from somebody at the tattoo shop. And yeah, so I don't know what the flavor is. It doesn't give me any details on the actual can, but it's got a pretty cool pink color, and that's what I'm drinking. So, Lauren, what are you drinking over there?
I'm drinking a fantastic beer. It's from Family Business Beer Company, so obviously you got to peep my fit. My beer matches my shirt and my glass, so I'm full family business here right now. I got this off of Tavor. It is the Grackle, but it's the barrel aged Grackle, which
Oh
is
my God, that sounds amazing. You've told me how good that beer is.
It is so good. And what I love is the last time they did it, they only did it in the big bottles. But wait, this is confusing. This says it's only 8.6%, whereas the unbarrel aged one is 10%. So now I'm confused, but this is delicious. And I know that
I
it's
don't know.
going to get better as it warms because I know more of the flavors are going to come out, but it's fantastic.
That's stellar. Ah, man, we gotta go there. We just gotta go. We gotta stalk
Okay.
Jensen Ackles. We gotta go. Just kidding, FBI agent. We don't have to stalk Jensen Ackles. I'm just kidding, of course. We're not gonna
We
do
want him
that.
to come to us.
Yeah, so Supernatural season 9, season 8 ended with a very unwell Sam who was doing the trials. And now we have a world full of fallen angels looking for vessels because Metatron is a dickhead and Crowley is still in the trunk. Yeah, so we left off with them trying to attempt to inject Crowley to close the gates, but then that would have just ended everything. And so they didn't do that. And now everybody's falling to hell, or angels are falling. Everyone's on the ground. And that kind of kicks us off here. So, Lauren, I will let you take this away because you are the smarter one of us. You love Supernatural. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I just haven't finished the entire series yet.
Yes. So so season 9 starts off with, I think I'm gonna like it here. So Sam is in the hospital and we go back and forth to his dreams, and Dean is trying to save his life. Bobby shows up in a dream because they always find a reason to bring Bobby back.
They do. Bobby gets to come back somehow, and I love it. How
I
could
think
you
it's
not bring Bobby back,
so
man?
funny because, like, yeah, you and Tabby, when Bobby died, you were like, "Oh my God, Bobby!" But I was like, "No, he's gonna come back as a ghost. He's gonna come back as
Well,
not really there. He's
I
gonna
get
come
it,
back
but
in
Sam
hell.
and
Like
Dean
he's."
keep dying, and Bobby dies, and his is the only permanent death. Like, come on, man, give me a break here.
But yeah, Bobby comes back in you haven't even seen all the versions of Bobby.
I
I'll
did see
leave
him
it at
with
that.
Rufus recently, though. That was fun.
Oh, was that? Yeah. Yeah, and that was such a great one where they go back and forth into the present and the
And they're in
past.
that weird
So
house.
they're
Yeah, but we're getting ahead of
always
ourselves here. That's
finding a
season
way to
11. No
bring
big deal.
Jim Beaver back. I mean, Jim Beaver's even in the Winchesters. So in an attempt to save Sam, Dean puts out a call to all the angels. Gadriel shows up pretending to be Ezekiel. Castiel vouches for Ezekiel. Dean tricks Sam into getting an angel to possess him, which obviously that's not going to end well. Many other angels also show up, but they're angry and they don't care for Dean, and they want Castiel because they think that he is responsible for their fall, even though he was tricked into all those things.
We all
Meanwhile,
were. We were all.
Castiel is human because he lost his wings and he lost his grace, and he meets up with a young girl angel who betrays him, and I hated her. And then she has a very weird scene where she's clearly not attached to her body.
She was in something that I watched, but no, I remember who that is. Yes, I remember. Yeah, it's that weird. They're on the side of the road. She got like
Yeah.
cut in half or something like that, and that was weird because she was clearly, obviously, going to betray him, but it was very strange. Yeah, you're right.
So this song is actually the same song from the musical Annie. Not the Son of
Oh.
Tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna like it here. I think it's when she gets to the Daddy Warbucks' place. She's like, I think I'm gonna like it
Got you.
here. Fun fact: the guy who was the trucker in this was also the trucker in season 1 in Dead Man's Blood. The trucker that hit them. Who was
Oh, that's
possessed.
cool. Yeah, no, this season focuses on like obviously Cass losses Grace. I remember that much. Metatron's still an asshole out and about. And
God, I hate Metatron.
I do too. This is also
I
the
think I
season where
hate
Castiel meets up with that like really thirsty angel who turns out to
Bear Reaper.
yeah, or no, is I'm talking about wasn't she like yeah, she was, but who like was possessed and then like she unpossesses her and turns out she's married and her husband was looking for her and all that stuff.
Oh, Hannah.
Yeah, she like keeps
Yes.
trying to bang Cass at every turn in this season.
Yeah. Well, and then she later comes back as a dude. Have you not met?
Does
You
she?
haven't.
I don't
She
think I
later
have.
comes back as a
Anyways,
dude. She's an angel and like she's up in heaven and she's trying to run things. Maybe I'm jumping ahead. My bad.
it's okay.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, obviously, yeah, right from the get-go, like that angel had the only like Sam was gonna die if Gadriel didn't possess. Well, we didn't know it was Gadriel. He plays off like, hey, I'm a good guy, I'm on your side. And so Dean's like, please, yeah, possess him
Trill's
to
not
save
all
Sam
bad.
because
Well, I
no.
mean,
He ends up
yeah.
working with Metatron though. Like that's the whole thing.
But
Like
he
he's working with
doesn't
Metatron.
know any better. I feel like
He-
Gadriel's somebody who's really trying to like do good, and he just keeps getting blamed for everything. And I think
That's
where he
fair.
really fucked up was that he killed Kevin. And I think that's where he, not to jump too far ahead, but yeah, okay. So episode 2, Devil May Care.
Oh my god,
So
you killed Kevin, you bastard.
Sam and Dean tell Kevin, who's currently living in the bunker, that they have Crowley. Kevin manages to, this is funny, he's on the phone and he manages to like blackmail some military person after a bus of military
Oh
demons occur.
yeah.
And Abaddon shows up and she traps a couple hunters, and Sam and Dean show up, and Gadriel basically has to save the day with his angel powers. And so, what did you think of the scene with the military possessed people? Because I've heard military people do not like this scene because it's just incredibly inaccurate.
It's so I just hate watching military in anything because it's so bad. They're so bad. They're so inept. They wear the completely wrong stuff because they kind of have to. Like they're not allowed to really wear the fully accurate, but goddamn, it's awful. It's one of those. It's like if you're it's like lawyer shows for you, right? You just sort
Yeah.
of like ugh, and that's how it is. So if you're in a specialty and you watch something, you're like ugh, because it's so. But it's television,
Can't
man. You got to
imagine
just
how
shut your
doctors
brain
watch
off.
stuff.
Oh yeah, Carrie. Anytime she watches nurse things, she's like, "That's not real. This would be this." And like, when we were
That
watching
person would be
something,
dead.
what the hell we were watching? Where, oh, is Madam Web with a CPR thing? And she's like, "Okay, CPR is only like 2%." Like all this stuff. She's like, she is right, but yeah, I mean your specialty stuff, right? So it was just fucking stupid, dude. So stupid.
So the one part I do like Abaddon's like hitting on Dean, where she's like on top of him, and she's like, the way you make girls feel or whatever, I'm gonna blow smoke up your ass. And he's like,
Yeah,
are we fighting or making out? I'm very confused.
I
But I
like
love
that.
that actress. She's so pretty. And like she just does such a great job at like playing like this
A
this
villain,
evil.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I loved Abaddon. I thought she was a great character. So the aliases in this episode, they're actually Stark and Banner. So we got some Marvel references. They're
Ah.
not all just musicians, kids.
They're not. They are not. Unless you're Beyonce and Agent whatever from
Oh,
that was good.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, you saw
When
the one with
Crowley and Cass are going, it's like
Agent
I'm Agent
Z and
Beyonce and this is Agent C. Like, but
yeah, the
that was good.
Beyonce one comes up again in the future at some point. I think
Oh,
when he's
love
with
it.
somebody else. Cassie, you're so close to the end now, so it's gonna be hard not to ruin
I'm
things. I'm
trying
gonna
to get
sing.
there before the cruise. All right, I'm trying my hardest. Now,
It's so crazy because you meet Donna in this season. All right, go.
oh, episode 3, I'm
Episode
no
3.
angel. This episode, we continue to see human Cass being irritated about literally anything and everything, especially how many times he has to pee, which is
It's
hilarious
a
because he's not
journey.
used to human
Are you
stuff. Like,
ever annoyed by how often you have to
trust
urinate?
me, Cass, I drink a lot of water, dude. I go like every hour, so I can relate.
And then him
And
brushing his teeth, he's like squeezing the toothpaste into his
yeah.
mouth.
He's actually going by Clarence, and it's the name that Meg used to call him in reference to an angel that from It's a Wonderful Life. Cass then finds a nice woman who takes him in after he runs out of money because he had to get a warding tattoo to keep away angels. Bartholomew is hunting him, and the Winchesters are looking for him. Turns out the nice lady is actually a Reaper, and after taking his virginity, she calls him. Dean frantically yells for Ezekiel, who brings Cass back. Oh, calls him.
She
Yes, she
kills
kills him.
him. Kills him.
Sorry. Thanks, Lauren. I read what's on the prompter. Yes, she does. So
I'm
she's like
Ron
straddling him in the
Burgundy.
chair, and then she
Fuck
stabs
you,
him
San Diego.
to kill
Yeah.
him. And so he dies. And that's when Dean's like, dude,
Dean
Ezekiel,
panics.
bring
He
him
yells,
back.
"Zeke."
Yeah. And so, but a
Yeah.
lot of the season, while Sam is possessed by Gadriel or Zeke, Sam blacks out because he doesn't know yet. So a lot of he's
Sam
like, how did
blacks
this
out a
happen?
lot anyways.
I mean, very true. One hit and he's out most of the time. But
Yeah,
a
he's
lot
like
of
this
this
giant
season,
dude and just bonk.
uh,
Realize like how
so Zeke,
like he should have permanent brain damage from all the concussions he suffered. All right.
I mean, fair. So yeah, Zeke tells Dean that Cass has to leave or he'll bring the angels, but I think it's really because he doesn't want them to know who he is. The title is actually a song by Greg Allman, I'm No Angel. And yeah, so it's kind of funny that like Sam keeps black out. It's like he can't know, and it's just ridiculous. God, it's funny. It is good. So what happens in episode 4? Because Cass back to life, like we said.
Did you have protection? I had my angel blade.
Yeah.
I like how he was just so like, why would you ask that? Of course I had my angel blade.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he's human now. I mean, she was a Reaper. She probably didn't have any diseases, and now she's dead
yeah.
now. So. All right, yeah, episode 4, Slumber Party. So Crowley is still locked in the dungeon, and the boys and Charlie accidentally release Dorothy and the Wicked Witch, who starts wreaking havoc and turns the boys into flying monkeys. Charlie dies, and she's celebrating Christmas while she's dead, and Gadriel saves her. The girls then figure out they can stab her, meaning the Wicked Witch, with a ruby slipper, and then Dorothy and Charlie go off to Oz. I like this one.
Oh, this was the fun. I like this one because I think we talked about this.
We did talk about this.
We did a first half of season 9, didn't we? Because I remember talking about how my mom loves this episode, and I love this episode because of with the Wizard of Oz.
We didn't talk about Dog Dean Afternoon when Dean was a dog. I
definitely remember talking about this somehow.
What?
We did.
No.
Okay. Well, anyways, I did like this episode because Charlie was back. Right. And then she goes off to Oz, which I thought was awesome because she goes in the book and everything like that. And she's a total fucking badass. So I do remember this. I thought maybe we didn't. Anyways, Charlie's desktop has a picture of Lion Cat from the comic book saga, which is Carrie's all-time favorite comic book, and you can actually see an image of a supernatural book. Charlie mentions that a Becky Winchester 176 book, all the books online, and then this episode is more accurate to the books than the movies. And Lauren also loves that Crowley references the musical Demons Are So Cultured. He also whistles Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow.
I have our last Supernatural episode is season 8.
Oh, well, maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. Anyways.
I do think we did talk about this because when Charlie comes up, I think you had already watched this the last time we recorded.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Okay.
I could be wrong, though.
I don't know. Anyways. Episode 5. Take us to Dean in episode 5 then.
I'm still double checking.
Let me pause this. We did not talk about this already. So episode 5 then. Dog Dean Afternoon. A weird murder happens and only a dog witnessed it. Dean actually becomes the dog with the help of a dog and can talk to all animals. I don't know why I don't remember this one.
Really? Where he like is literally talking to the dog and then he's like turned on by the poodle and then he's like calls the pigeon a douchebag.
I think I do, but I don't. Maybe I blocked it out.
This is one of the weirdest, like funniest out there episodes. I feel like they went too far with the poodle part.
Oh, but, like, well, come on, man. Like, we're gonna go all the way.
They don't realize like that the spell has worked yet, and Dean starts like remember Sam threw something in the garbage can, and Dean goes and gets it out and hands it to him, and he's literally playing fetch and doesn't realize it. And Sam's like, why are you doing that? And then Dean goes to eat a chocolate bar, and the dog's like, you probably shouldn't.
I don't remember any of this, actually. Did I block this out? I don't know why. I remember the poodle, but that's about it.
And then they go to the pound, and like the one dog, I wish I could remember the actor's name. He's in Will and Grace, and he's like, the big one's
Oh,
gotta pet
yeah.
my belly if he wants me to talk. And then
That's
and there's that guy that like turns into animals, and he knew that Sam was something. He wasn't human because Gadriel was inside of him, and that Dean had the mark, or it was talking to dogs. I don't think it had it. He didn't have the mark yet. It was talking to dogs, and he's like, "Who are your parents? Like, what did they do to make you two like what you are?"
that
And they could tell like the guy was dying because Dean was a dog, so he could like sniff out the cancer. He's arguing with the dog about sticks. Oh, you need to go rewatch
no, I guess I have to.
I like that the
What?
last one you're like, we already talked about this one, and this one you're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's weird. I don't know why this one.
Oh my! It's remember, and he's talking to the
No,
pigeon,
Lauren, I don't remember. That's what I'm telling you.
and he's like, "You winged rat," and he's like about to shoot the pigeon. He like pulls the
Oh
gun
my
out to shoot the pigeon
god.
because he says he's brewing up a real big one to shit on his car.
I don't
And
know.
then
I don't
Dean has his
remember.
whole head outside of the car. And then when they park, then he's like, "Oh," and he acts all awkward and gets back. And like him and the dog have their heads out of the car. Like he goes full dog. I don't know. I didn't remember this one.
I
It's a
don't
weird
know.
one.
All right. Well, I don't. So maybe episode 6 will jog my mind because Heaven
Oh
Can't
wait,
Wait. Oh,
fun
go into
fact.
what you got to say.
There's
Sorry.
this
I'm blowing
in
past
Dog
this
Gene.
because I'm here in headlights. I'm a dog in headlights. I don't know.
You have to go rewatch this one. It's so fucking out there. So, two fun facts, real quick. The title is after an Al Pacino movie called Dog Day Afternoon, and the second one is I thought this was interesting. There's a taxidermied bald eagle in this episode because the guy who died like had a taxidermy place, and those are actually illegal in the United States of America because we don't
Oh,
taxidermy our eagles.
we don't. Damn it. There's a lot of bald eagles where I live. It's really cool always getting to see them. I always get like a little spurt of America, and then I realize how shithole our country has kind of become right now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying these fireworks.
America.
Anyways, Heaven Can't Wait. Dean finds Cass working at a gas station. He's just
Do
a
you
regular
remember
human.
this?
I do. He's got the blue vest.
Be human again.
Isn't this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Helps him prepare for what Cass in the audience, because that bitch let him on. That was a date. Yeah, because she used him to be a babysitter. She did.
Ew,
She was
like,
leading him on.
I did
She
not like
was 100%.
She'd be so lucky to have Cass like her.
100%. Like he got suckered in so bad. So an angel that used to put angels out of their misery is going around killing people who are sad and turning them to pink clouds. When he comes to kill Cass, sensing his sadness, Cass proves he's not just a baby in a trench coat. And Dean shows up when he realizes Sam and Kev are still at the bunker and try to get Crowley to help them find a way to open up heaven again. Yeah, no, this one, Cass got catfished pretty hard. Even though he knew she wasn't lying about who she was, it was more of like she used him to
She's looking for
babysit
a
her
free
kid.
babysitter.
That's fucked
Yeah.
up. Like she knew what she was doing. She knew fucking damn
I
well
agree.
what she was doing. I didn't like that.
I didn't
Didn't
like
like
it.
that.
But I do enjoy Cass and any moments we get Cass and Dean together. I very much so enjoy those moments because they do have a special bond. But he didn't
They
want to do that in
do.
front of Sam.
They do.
They do. Yeah. So the title is a nod to a 1943 and a 1978 film called Heaven Can Wait. Can wait, can't wait.
I don't know. Episode 7, we bad boys for life or what?
Bad Boys for Life. So this is a flashback episode, and this is my favorite young Dean actor. He freaking kills it. We see him again in the Hansel and Gretel episode. So Dean got caught stealing food for Sam, and John still left him in the boys' home. He gets on the wrestling team. He's making good grades. He meets a nice girl when John shows up and demands that he must come now. And Dean doesn't want to until, of course, he sees Sammy in the back seat and he can't abandon his little brother. The boys visit the house. Oh, apparently I capitalize boys. Everything I time. Apparently every time I write the boys now, it's just capitalize the boys. Visit the house now today because it's got a ghost. One of the boys' moms is going around and killing people who fuck with her kid.
That's
This
very
was
fair.
I really like this one because you see the mom like she looks scary ghost and then she suddenly looks like her. She's a very pretty young woman who died in a tragic car accident and left her son. The son ends up getting orphaned and ending up at this home and the kids aren't being very nice to him.
Yes, I vaguely remember this one. I do.
So Dean's love interest, all grown up, was also the mom of the baby in season 1, who Sam had a vision of dying in the baby's nursery, but they save her. Ruth was also in a past episode. So
Yes.
the lady who worked there, I did not realize it was the same lady. I used to get these episodes confused, and I didn't know why, and now I know why, because it's the same damn lady, and I remember them talking to her in both episodes. So I had mixed up the episodes. She was in the Family Remains one with the kids, the twins in the walls. That wasn't a ghost,
Yep.
and but she worked with the boys. So both times it was like she took care of the house,
Hmm.
and they asked her questions about a potential ghost. The name of this is not after the Will Smith and Martin Lawrence movie. It's actually
Dang.
after a 1983 movie called Bad Boys, which was about locked up juvenile delinquents.
I will forever consider it a part of the Bad Boys universe with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. We already talked about this is your favorite
Uh,
Dean, but
yes. But a super fun fact. So January 24th is Eric Kripke's wife's birthday. He uses January 24th whenever he can. We've seen it in The Boys. It's Jessica's birthday, Sam's girlfriend, and it is Dean's birthday. And it is real life little Dean's birthday. What? You're
that
muted.
is crazy. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So going into episode 8, Rock and a Hard Place, Jody calls needing help with a bunch of disappearances of people from a local church. A born again version being created, including Dean and
Virgin.
Sam, Virginia, only to find out the born agains is a former porn star. I love this because I remember this one because Dean, they
Oh,
go to
that's
her
cute.
room and she pulls out like the Bible or something like that. And Dean's like, wait, what? He was like, I thought we were going to, although they do, don't they hook up? They do hook up,
They
don't
do
they?
hook up. That's why they
Okay,
end up
thank
getting
you.
kidnapped, because they break their born again
That's
virginity.
right. That's
But I
right.
love when
They
he's at the
deflower each other, and it's a
yeah.
goddess that needs virgin sacrifices. Yes.
I love and the scene when Dean's talking about sex and he's just like, and then it builds up and all the women in the room are like crinkling their papers and crossing their legs.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
Like it's funny when
amazing.
they go in there and they're pretending, and then he realizes who she is, and he's just fawning over her the whole time. I'm like,
It's like, why does she
ah,
look so familiar? Didn't they had Casa Erotica. So they brought back Casa
yeah.
Erotica. And then he like speaks Spanish or something to her.
It was yes, 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 he does. That's right. And then they role play. He's like, can you be this or whatever? While they go back to
Mhm.
her house. Yes. Oh my God. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode a lot. Just for the pure like 13-year-old
Silliness.
boy ridiculousness of like
Yeah.
who wouldn't act that way, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was like something on his bucket list. It's like he was
Yeah,
crossing
yeah.
off his bucket list,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I mean,
I
that's
do like that.
Josh's list. He always says they're porn stars on his list because that's
I
more likely to actually happen.
Anna Kendrick. Well, till I die. But
Well, yeah. Uh,
James Kirk, who played one of the younger kids, actually plays a younger version of Jensen Ackles' character in the show Dark Angel. I didn't know he was in Dark Angel. That's the one. Was Dark Angel with Jessica Alba?
yeah, he's talked about working with her before
That's
on,
right.
Inside of You podcast
Hmm. Oh, Inside of You podcast, huh? Interesting.
with Michael Rosenbaum.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
guess
no, I
how have
like
you
this.
not heard of that? Okay.
I did like this episode. I did. That's all I kind of got though. So episode 9, Holy Terror. There is a van full of angels in white singing, and they go to war with a bar full of biker angels, which is fucking hilarious. Human Cass shows up as a hunter and says, Cass is back in town. Cass is
Cass
back in
is back
town.
in town, and he has like a little beer, and he's like, "Kink."
Gadriel
He's
once again says he's gotta
adorable.
go, which confuses Sam. We then learn that Gadriel is Gadriel and not Ezekiel. Gadriel has been
Dun
in
dun
heaven's
dun.
lockup forever because he
And
let the
Ezekiel's dead.
snake into the garden. He let Lucifer in. Gadriel begins meeting with Metatron, and then this is where Kevin ultimately I didn't think Kevin would actually die. And so when his death happened, it felt like so unceremonious that I was like, no way.
Right.
But it was permanent till it wasn't. I mean, it is, but
You still don't know how tragic his story is either.
there's
His story
more because I
gets
saw Chuck, aka God,
season 15, it gets worse. His
worse for poor
story
Kevin. I thought his
worse for
life was happy. I thought he was doing great when Chuck was like,
nope,
look, it's Kevin. He was like,
nope.
God's like, hey, it's Kevin, man. He's fine. You tell me
Kevin
God
got
lied.
left home alone again. I won't say God lied, but
God's a
Kevin
piece of shit, is what he is. Isn't he? Fucking Chuck.
he's,
You can never trust
he's
anybody
too
named Chuck.
he's too busy eating his own ass.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Ugh, fuck that guy. Yeah, no, I didn't expect Kevin to die yet like that. I thought it was again like sometimes when they do these big deaths, they just kind of happen, you
Yeah.
know? And then
They
you're
just
like, wait,
pull
that
the
was
rug
it?
out from under you, yeah.
Yeah, like you're like, that was it? It was
I
weird.
feel like one of the reasons is because this is a show where everybody can come back. So they don't want to make this huge, like ceremoniously, like huge death, because then it will be diminished the second they come back as a ghost or as a shapeshifter, or they go to hell, or they
I
see them in heaven
guess.
or
Yeah, but I
something.
mean, sometimes you have to. Like, it's for your main characters. They deserve some glory, I guess. I don't
I
know.
wonder if sometimes the writers don't realize how much characters are loved, because I know a lot of people were upset about
Oh,
Charlie's death.
yeah. Well, yeah, when Charlie died,
I
again,
was like,
that
oh
was one of those,
shit,
she was
yeah,
off
you already watched it,
screen.
yeah.
She died
Yeah,
off
she was
screen.
off
That's what
screen, yeah.
pissed me off. That's why I didn't think she was actually dead. She died off screen. I was like, no fucking way. That was it. I was like, are you serious?
And a
Yeah,
lot of
that
people
made me
are
mad.
were upset about that. Like, why did you
As they
kill her?
should. They again, I guess writers, yeah, because then maybe you don't want to listen to the fans because then it influences your writing a little too much, and then you start to make good or bad decisions. But bullying works sometimes. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to bully some people. You know, like the Sonic, that worked. That's an instance of bullying that worked appropriately. And I'll leave that there. Let's move on.
Episode 10, Road Trip.
I love that movie.
Wasn't Garth was in that movie?
He was, yes.
All right, so Dean and Cass ask for Crowley's help in getting Gadriel out of Sam. So they go on a road trip in Cass's car after Dean puts gas in it. I love that scene so much. I don't know why, but just the fact that Cass broke down. He doesn't understand why. Dean has a thing of gas and he's like, yep, it's out of gas, just like I thought. It's like, oh, Dad's coming to save you.
I know, dude.
I
Oh
love this,
gosh.
the innocence of his humanity, that he is this warrior, like has killed angels and
Yeah,
demons and da 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 da. And he's like, I don't know what's wrong with my car.
it just is
So
what it is.
Gadriel is out killing people on Metatron's kill list. They manage to trap Gadriel and expel him with Crowley's help. Cass is now on borrowed grace and removes Sam's tattoo, though, so that Crowley can possess him and say Poughkeepsie. So so Gadriel finds his original vessel once he does finally get kicked out of Sam's vessel. And Metatron is there waiting for him, knowing that that was going to happen.
Snake.
Abaddon shows up though, and Crowley says,
He'll
says
handle it.
what? Oh, he'll handle it. Dean then drives off alone because Sam is mad he let Gadriel possess him.
I just feel like so much of this could be simple conversations that I just get tired of. I guess one thing that I get tired about Supernatural is just like the nonsense between Sam and Dean all the time, like hiding stuff from each other in these petty little ways. I get it, like, but they're all good intentions. I feel like if you actually just had a conversation with each other, then you can see the point. But then that comes to like
Yeah.
maybe toxic masculinity at some point where like they're two very proud masculine dudes, especially Dean, who doesn't know how to talk. So they hide stuff because they're afraid of what the truth might bring. So
Right.
I do get
And I
tired
do
of like they're on always keeping
I do
something from each
too.
other.
And I think part of that is because you're not supposed to be watching it like 15 seasons at a time. So this is dragged out over years. So I think that's
Uh,
one thing. But two, I do think
fair.
that they do that too much. But I do think that later
Well, it's a
they have
CW trope, though.
time.
That's just a
Yeah.
CW trope. They do that with any show.
But I do think in the last couple seasons they start to call that shit out and be like, this is stupid. Why are we still doing this? Like, but they're also brothers. So it's like I feel
Yeah.
like you're more likely to be short and mad with a sibling than you would be with somebody else. So like it does sometimes get annoying, but I do feel like they end up calling that, and I'm not making excuses for it because there are times where I'm just like, again, roll your eyes
They've
at
been
the
through
yeah.
so much together that I feel like they could have these conversations because Sam would have done the same for Dean if it was reversed. You know damn well.
I don't know that he would, because
He would
Amelia
have.
is a good example of that. Sam wouldn't do the same for Dean. Dean looks at Sam as somebody he has to take care of. He's a father figure to Sam. It doesn't go the other way around. I do
Fair.
think there are things that Sam will do for Dean, but
No,
I
but
think
Sam has
it's a
gone through
different
so much to
relationship.
bring Dean back to life before, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but not to the level that Dean would for Sam.
Okay. I don't know. I guess it can go either way.
Amelia, he hit a fucking dog.
Emilio. Well, this is actually the first time that Crowley actually calls Sam Bullwinkle instead of Moose. I love the nickname Moose, man. Now, the dream that Gadriel puts Sam in about ghouls eating cheerleaders is a reference to the comic book Zombies versus Cheerleaders. I have never read that. Have you?
No, but I thought that was a fun fact for our podcast.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I want to read that. Maybe I'll read it for Halloween. Who knows? Ooh, that'd be a good tie-in.
Ooh.
Yeah. Overall, yeah, I didn't Metatron's a dick. I'm so ready to get rid of Metatron. However, I get sympathetic to him later on, especially in the
Really?
current season. I know we're getting ahead because I've watched a couple seasons ahead of what we're talking about, but you kind of do when him and Chuck are in the secluded area talking, and God's kind of an asshole, and Metatron kind of shows a sympathetic side to him. And so you kind of feel bad for him before he meets his untimely demise to the darkness.
Okay, so okay, you're fully caught up on that. So for me, I do understand. Like, yeah, okay, he's like, well, why, why are you so mad at humanity, and why do you hate humanity, and why are you going to let this happen? But he's still a dick about it. I feel like Metatron just wants humanity there for his own
He's
entertainment.
inherently a dick. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he is. But I get both sides. You can't help but feel a little sympathy, a little, even though he's still a dick. I still don't like him.
He fucked over Cass. I
He
hate
did.
him.
Now, episode 11, Firstborn, Crowley asks Dean for help in finding the first blade so that he can kill Abaddon, which is when they find out it's actually Cain, the first murderer. Dean gets the mark. Cass and Sam are trying to find Gadriel by extracting Angel Grace that was left in Sam. Yeah, we finally get Cain, who is Timothy Otzman, I think is how you pronounce his name, but
Omenson.
Omenson, that's what it was. Yeah, he's been at some cons. I didn't know that was Cain. They're in the house, and all the people, the demons or whatever, are coming after
I
them.
love this episode.
It was a
Yeah,
good episode. Yeah. I mean, Kane's just kind of like this grizzled badass. He's kind of a daddy too at
he
the same
looks
time.
hot. What
He
did you ever
really
watch Gallivant? So
no, I haven't.
Gallivant was a show on like ABC, and he plays this like Virgin King or something, and he's such a fucking goofball. And that's the only thing I knew him in. I think the show got canceled. It was on for like 1 or 2 seasons, but it was actually really good and really funny. And it was like a musical that was like old timey, but like self aware that it was old timey. I
Oh,
anybody
really?
I Google it. It's worth a Google. Gallivant. And yeah, he's this king who's he's so fucking funny. And that's the only thing I knew him in. And then I see him in this and like, yeah, he's hot as
He
Kane.
does, like, he's got the white beard, man. He's kind of muscular. It's like he's like that
Yeah.
old man that you're like, man, I hope I look like that when I'm 65. I won't, but I
Oh, I
hope
don't
I
think he's
do.
that old.
He's not that old. I'm just saying in general, like
But they wrote this role for him.
they did, and he was really badass. Yeah. Then he obviously against his wishes because Crowley, he's just like letting Dean and Crowley fight their way across the house as the demons enter. And
He's just sitting there eating dinner.
he is. He's just chilling, man. He's just chilling the whole time, which is a really cool episode. And then ultimately he gives Dean the mark of Cain, which sets off a
Got the mark
whole
of Kane.
other sequence of events. Now, Jensen actually did his own stunts for that amazing fight scene in Cain's kitchen, which is pretty cool because it gets pretty brutal at times. The role of Cain was actually written for the actor Timothy Omenson. And Zelina, the Wicked Witch of the West in Once Upon a Time, also lives in the house that Cain lives in.
But I love when Crowley does the like, the Catholic thing. And then I love the backstory of Cain where like, no, Lucifer was talking to Abel and he took the burden for his little brother. So obviously you're gonna
Right.
see some symbolism and some comparison with Sam and Dean. But I loved all of that. And I love just how like he's like, I'm worried about bees. Bees are important. And there is an outtake of like a bee where like Mark Shepard is like smacking the bee away. But yeah, I loved all this. And it's also funny because I've seen like not outtakes or more so like behind the scenes of the boys where Jensen is Soldier Boy and he's fighting Homelander and they do a scene and then like Anthony Starr's like, "Are you okay?" And it's like, "Yes, he's fine. He knows how to do this
He
stuff. He
knows
did
what
all
he's
this
doing. Have you seen
right."
Jensen is a beast?
Go watch this. I mean, this one fight scene is like it's a
It
shit ton of
does. They're going through
choreography.
yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. I really like that episode and I love the introduction of Kane. And if anybody who has not seen the parody of I got the mark of Kane, ooh ooh, uh
Ah.
highly recommend going to YouTube. It's called Hillywood. Just search on YouTube
Yeah,
Hillywood
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
International. There's two videos. One of them is the Shake It Off parody, and you actually see Kane in it. You see a whole bunch of supernatural
Oh,
actors,
you
and then
showed me these and I didn't care before because I wasn't watching the show. So I guess I'll have
oh,
to go back and look.
I sent you the links when you got to
You
this
I
point too.
know you
You got
did.
to
You
go
you
check it.
have. You're right. You have.
They're a
I
lot of
repent.
fun, yes. But they also do a Winchester. Who are you gonna call? Winchesters. They do a Ghostbusters one too. The cameos are insane. You see
Man,
Mrs.
we should have
Strand, you
gotten in
see
on this
Kane, you
from the
see
get-go. God, why didn't
Jody.
we know each other in 2010? We could have been ahead of the curve too and gotten in all this, and we would have been hanging out with Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki and
I mean, shit, this show's been on
Art
since
Shepard.
2005, and I started watching it in 2017.
Stupid.
No,
Stupid.
October 2016. Okay, sharp teeth.
All
What happened to
right.
sharp teeth? Oh,
Well, this is the episode that we actually learn that Garth has been turned into a werewolf. Remember, he's at the family's
dun
and he's
dun
been accepted into a
dun.
non-murdering pack, although his girlfriend stepmom is a little crazy, as they typically are. They prefer lycanthrope, not werewolf, which is the actual term for werewolf. Garth was supposed to be keeping an eye on Kevin, and now we learn why he went MIA. Sam and Dean parted ways after the Gadriel nonsense, and they were reacquainted in this episode, where we learn that some werewolves are actually born that way, like this episode. Garth is just so innocent. He's been turned into a lycanthrope. He's a part of this family. They're kind of like, they seem like religious nuts at first. Something is off. And but no, they're like, no, they're werewolves. They're bad. But it turns out they're just a non-murdering pack. They eat like beef and stuff like that, man.
Yeah,
They're
they
chill.
like
They're just
beef
here.
her. It's funny to see like they all have like raw steak, and then like Sam's
Yeah.
eats like or Dean's like cooked steak.
Yeah. It was like, it was a good episode because it reminds you that, again, in this universe of monsters, that not all of the monsters, like the vampires that we saw that were non-killing, right? They're not everyone's bad,
Right.
essentially. And it kind of reminds you of that once in a while. I like these blow off, cool off episodes.
And they let, I think her name was Kate, the cute blonde with the really
Mhm.
short hair that turned, like they let her go.
Yeah,
Like they could have followed her and they didn't. Have you met her? I'm sure you've met her sister at this point. Did we do that episode yet?
I don't remember. I'll be honest.
Where the sister, you've had to have watched it at this point. Her sister was dying. So Kate bit the sister and turned the sister into a werewolf so she wouldn't die.
I
But then the
think so.
werewolf
That sounds right.
broke bad, basically. And they were like, okay, well, we're going to have, and like Kate was willing to die for her sister's sins. And then they're like, this isn't right. You're not doing this. And then they realized it was the sister. And then Kate ended up killing the sister. I hope you have seen this because I just told you the whole fucking episode.
I might
Well,
have.
now you don't have to watch it.
I don't. Well, there you go. Now I know. No, I might have. I don't remember.
well, if you haven't, I hope you don't remember everything I just told you.
Bada bing.
Okay. All right, next is the fish taco.
Oh yeah, the purge. What happens?
So the fish taco people, they eat fat, and this is the episode we're going to meet Donna. So there's a guy who's doing a food eating contest, and suddenly he dies, and he's super duper skinny. So enter Sam and Dean because this is weird, and they get undercover jobs at a wellness center where Dean ends up eating pudding because he works in the kitchen, and Sam is a like yoga instructor. And I love when he's like, "No, we're going to go into downward dog, and we're going to be here for 5 minutes," and everybody's like, "What?"
Yes. Oh, wasn't this? Yeah. No. Oh. That's because they were sucking the fat. Like these creatures were sucking the fat out of people, right? Yeah, that's right.
It was the cupping. So it was like looking like you were doing cupping.
Yeah.
One of my
They weren't
friends.
actually bad guys either, which is crazy.
No, the brother was. The brother was overeating, but I felt bad for the sister because her husband, he killed her husband. And yeah, she would, and then Dean was like ready to kill her, and Sam's like, no, we're not killing her. She's not evil. But I like when she's like, we're a fish taco, and he's like, a fish taco? And we meet Donna. And Donna in real life is actually 7 months pregnant when they film this. And they have the scene with her and Jensen eating the donuts. And there's an outtake of her like, she's like, I can't take you seriously because they're both having the powdered sugar like all
Yeah.
over
Oh,
their face.
yeah. Wasn't that there's like TikTok videos like sports teams like who ate my donuts? Who and there's like powdered sugar all over their faces, donuts. I almost wonder that's where it originated from.
Yeah, well, they did it in wait, and their sports teams are doing it?
Yeah, like if you look at just search like the Boston Bruins, for example. Yeah, there's sports team TikToks that are doing it.
I didn't know that was a thing because the guy with the cardigan did it, and he goes, "Who ate my donuts?" And it was Jensen was covered in powdered sugar. And
Yeah,
he's like,
there's
"Come on,
sports teams
guys,
that do
who
it.
ate?" I didn't know that was a thing. I assumed that they were talking about Donna, and that's why they did it.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
so funny. Huh, interesting. Anyways, Brianna Buckmaster is fucking drop dead gorgeous, and they try
Yeah.
to make her like this like
They
overweight,
do. They do.
goofy person. She's so like if you like go to her TikTok or whatever, you see her at like the cons, like she's so fucking pretty.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. But yeah, episode 14 captives now. Ghost Kevin's back. Yay! He wants the brothers to find his mom, who is in a storage facility. We also learn that his ghosts are just wondering because heaven is closed. And now Bartholomew meets Cass.
Bartholomew is a dick.
We continue to underestimate Cass, who just kills everybody. So
I love
like
that. He's like talking down to Cass, and then like Cass is just like Angel Shiv, and
Yeah. The only thing I really like in this episode is Ghost Kevin. Kevin.
Yeah.
It confirmed that Kevin was actually dead for me, and I was like, no,
Well, and
Daddy,
then Mrs.
no.
Tran still got to bring her son home.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Okay. So next one is Thin Man, which is obviously a play on Slender Man. So the Ghost Facers are back, and there's trouble in paradise between them. This is a parody of Slender Man, and we learn there is nothing supernatural going on here. It's actually just two people straight up murdering people. So this is only the third time ever that the monster is human. First time was the Bender, second time was Family Remains with the twins in the wall, and now this episode. So this is the one where like Harry ends up killing somebody, and he's having a really hard time with that. Meanwhile, Dean also killed someone and gave no fucks because they were bad guys.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ghost. Go. Oh wait, yeah. Ghost Facers.
I like when he like shows the gun. He's like, "Am I supposed to be more intimidated by the gun or that happy trail?" And he's like, both."
Oh my gosh. That yeah, I always like love when the ghost facers also come back on too. Um but yeah, it is nothing supernatural. It's like two legitimate people that are out there killing people. And again, like I've talked like Dean's talked about in the past, it's um people are scary. Like he can deal with monsters and ghosts and vampires, but it's real people. It's just crazy.
People are strange. Yeah,
So
it's true.
that's I don't really have a whole lot there. So Blade Runners, episode 16, Sam and Dean help Crowley find the first blade. We get a Snooky cameo. Oh God, that's right, we did. And then they meet
I
the
thought it
Man of
was funny
Letters.
that Snooky was a demon. That's funny.
This is actually we get to meet the guy whose house is hidden by magic, where they get the blade. This guy, his house was like a house of horrors. It was really because he traps them in there at the same time.
Yeah, and he has like the zoo, and he has like the vamp and whatnot attacking them. But it was interesting because he's like, I always wanted the men of letters to do this, and they wouldn't do this.
Yeah, yeah. He was like salty, basically.
Yeah.
I and it was there's really not much that happens in this episode besides getting the blade. I don't think. Unless I
I
forget.
mean, well, yeah, I think what you mainly take away from this, other than getting the blade, is the relationship with Crowley still building with the brothers. Like, obviously, the brothers are never at a point where they're like blindly trusting him, but I feel like
Yeah, that's true. That's
starting to
true.
see more of. I mean, Crowley always has his own, whatever on the back of his mind, but he does have a soft spot for Sam and Dean and Cass. So I think you see that a little more. And like, I love how short Sam is with Crowley. Like he's just like
Yeah.
so, and
Like
you
that.
actually will see a little bit in the season you're on now. You're gonna see more of that development of character, and you're gonna start to hate Mary even fucking more because she's the fucking worst.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, she is. But yeah, it's cool that this is like the same one that's from the French Mistake. I thought it looked familiar. Now it makes sense. Um, yeah, yeah. I enjoy it. So episode 17, which is Mother's Little Helper. Abaddon's the nun. She is.
But this is where we see her get her vessel.
Yes, she does go into the vessel. Gonna be honest, I don't remember.
It's you see that the people are capturing the souls. And so Sam actually goes and does this one on his own where like somebody then comes out and she was a nun and she's like, okay, I actually remember this. I never told you. Like she's at the
Oh
police
yeah, the
station.
nun. She was yeah, okay. So she was like that Spanish, she wasn't like a Spanish nurse, but she was something along those lines. And yeah, she was like the young nurse or something. Is this that the nun? Is
She
this
was a
this one?
young nun, not the Spanish one who, or maybe that one was Italian, who was obsessed with the guy.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
different
never
one.
mind. Whoops.
Okay, this is the one where
Awkward.
the young nun saw that Abaddon possessed this girl with Henry because they were gonna like kill Henry, and she's like, no, possess me, take me, because Henry had John and Henry had a wife. And so I just like that they brought the grandfather back. So because we only saw him in the one episode where like he dies saving the boys and he gives them the Men of Letters bunker. So then we go to this where Henry's supposed to like getting promoted into Men of Letters, and like what ended up happening of how Abaddon put. So we learned that Henry's friend at Men of Letters had been Abaddon longer than he thought. And then
Oh,
do you don't remember that was when the demon went into Abaddon? pretending to be a nun, and the younger nun who left the convent years later, she's like at the police station and she's like, "You don't understand, this is happening again." And Sam hears her, and then Sam asks her questions and they realize what's going on, and she's like, "I didn't say anything then, and now people are dying again, and I'm concerned about that." They were collecting souls, I forget what it was, to like disrupt them or something, because Abaddon was like building her own army.
Oh yeah, because she was trying to take over hell. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, she was
She
trying to take over
was.
hell.
She was trying to take over hell. I do recall that. But yeah, I don't really remember else. Maybe we should just wrap up the season here and then do a part 2 when we
We
have the
can do
full
that.
descriptions, because I don't remember. I'm trying to remember off the episodes, but your descriptions actually jog my memories, believe it or not.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. Gotta refresh your
They really
recollection.
do. Like, I actually started to remember a lot once I was reading your stuff, so like that made a lot of sense.
But yeah, we can leave it here. The next episode is metafiction. So we can next time we can end with season 9 and we will go into season 10, which is where shit gets hot.
It does, but shit gets even hotter. I don't know. I just was saying that because I was thinking of Jensen Ackles, believe it or not. Yeah, we will wrap it up here. We will wrap up a part 2 of season 9, which will be coming out here soon. So thank you guys for hanging out with us supernatural wise. Hey man, as always, if you want more supernatural content, let us know. These are bonus episodes that we do. We are probably right now out on a nice cruise, hanging out. So follow our social medias if you want to follow that journey. And in the meantime, subscribe, share with a friend, share with your supernatural friends. And I promise you, man, I'm almost done with Supernatural. I'm gonna get there. And hopefully we'll get the Salt and Burn pod on soon, because I know that they're doing the rewatch too. So can't wait to
Yes,
go and talk with
they had
them.
taken a hiatus, but they're back.
Hey, they're back, baby. So we'll get with some folks, get some Supernatural folks on soon. Follow our other episodes. Go check out what we've been doing. And we will talk to you guys here soon. As always, have a good one, man. Cheers.
Stay classy.